So, we're live, and we're going to jump straight into the first part of the roundtable discussion. Instead of going to Planet Strike first, we're going to talk about the Battle Force boxes first, then we'll talk about some questions, then we'll move on to your guys' questions. So here we go. As Codex escalation has permitted to continue from Orcs to IG to Space Wolves, and from all rumors, it's sure to be in the Tyranids as well, new Battle Force boxes are being generated. These new Battle Forces have stripped some of the more potent weapons and figures for more the generic troops. With me today from my panel talking about Battle Force boxes, we got Solid Smurf. You're up.
Gentlemen.
And we have Bootleg Tattoo.
Woo-hoo.
All right, fellas, question number 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the new box set is far weaker to 10 being the new box set is more powerful, given the changes to the codices, how strong are the new IG and Tyranid battle forces? And for this, we're going to actually start with Solid Smurf.
I'm going to go with a 5. Just because, honestly, they give you stuff, but is it stuff you need? Who knows? You know, is it catered to your army? Who knows? But it's there. And you got stuff for $90.
Woohoo! Stuff for $90.
Yeah!
Tattoo, man. Make it happen.
I'm going to say probably a 6 or 7. I think they're a good deal.
Well, this is talking about the potency of the units in the battle box.
I still say that. They're not that bad. It's a good jumping off point.
All right. And now I'm here to make sure that you guys understand that you're a little bit on the wrong side. The answer is they are about a 3. Come on, people. We can't even get a tank for the IG anymore. We can't get a Carnifex for the Tyranid. That's just painful. And what's the deal with Ripper Swarms going from 3 to 1? You can't field one Ripper Swarm. Why put it in the battle box at all? Further discussion.
But you get 3 Ripper Swarms in the battle box.
In the current one, you only get 1.
Really?
I didn't know there wasn't a Carnifex in it no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dropped it and gave you Warriors. Now, I do think it's cool that you actually have... No, never mind, not with the new rumors. Right now, as it stands, with the current Tyranid Codex, you have an army in a box, which is kind of cool.
What do you mean by that?
You have your Warriors, which are your HQ, and your 2 troops, the Hormagots and the normal gods. You have an army in a box. That's kind of cool.
Well, that is a little bit of a benefit over the current Assault on Blackreach, where you don't quite get 2 troop choices. But I'm thinking that when you're combining all these things together, that considering the cost of the Battle Force boxes are going up as well. Come on, give us something that's a little bit more beefy. Bootleg, you got any more thoughts on this?
Yeah, $90 is still cheap for GW.
Yeah. Okay, guys, in the room, all of y'all that are saying that Warriors are now troops, no, they're not. In the current Codex, they are an HQ.
So does the rumor mill have it where the Tyranid Warriors are now going to be troops in the future?
They're going to be troops, fast attack, maybe elites too, but as it stands right now, until next month, you have an army in a box. So
that's kind of do you guys even know anyone who plays Tyranid? Because if you do, I don't know anyone who
plays
a lot of Tyranid Warriors.
Well, because they're not cost effective.
Okay.
Yeah, right now they can be insta-killed with the 4-up armor save, so they're kind of like, they're risky. But no, I don't know many players that field them currently. Hopefully they get a little bit of a buff.
Every single time that they've been fielded in games against me, they've usually been wiped pretty quickly. It's just, I don't know. But who knows? Maybe once you make them troop choices, then, are they doing anything with Gene Stealers? Because then it'll be like Tyranid have like 19 troop choices that they can make.
Rumor says that there will be an elite and a troop choice version.
Okay, so it'll be kind of like
I lost my stick.
Well, anyways, let's keep rolling. Question number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the new player will have no chance, 10 being the new player will have a competitive list. How effective from a game's perspective are the battle forces? I know this isn't much of a difference.
By themselves?
That we're actually going to jump over to Bootleg a Tattoo.
Well, if they're starting off, yes. I mean, because that's going to give you a boost. That's a good enough starting point. But you can't win with just that. I wouldn't say that's very competitive.
So
probably, what, a 3 or 4?
A 3 or 4?
3 or 4.
Okay. Smurf, what about you?
Yeah, you got to go buy more stuff.
Smurf, you're on.
I know, I'm thinking. I'm going to give it a 3. Just because they're not giving you the units that make your army special, really. All they're giving you are usually a handful of troops and maybe a heavy support, maybe a transport. It's not something to give your army that punch.
Okay, now I have to agree with both you guys. Thank you for coming to this side of the fence. It is a 3. We're not winning any major games by anyone who's competitive, and unfortunately this game is fostering that competitive nature. Quite honestly, if GW was really kind to us, they'd actually start making their codices around the battle boxes so that people could actually jump in with a nice, 1,000-point list buying 2 battle forces and, really start getting into this game. But unfortunately, anyone who is focusing even on the Space Marines, battle forces, and now, again, IG losing tanks and whatnot, it's just painful. Further discussion.
Well, I always thought the battle boxes were just supposed to get you started. It's a good starting point. Then you got to add from there.
Okay, so follow-on question, Bootleg. If I'm a new player and I'm just getting started, but I'm getting started with a group where I will never win, is that a good way to keep me as a player?
Well, I mean, your buddy's got to cater to you a little bit, too. I mean, you're not going to go buy one $90 box and expect to go to a tournament.
Our boys, here we come. $1 $95 box. Smurf, any follow-on thoughts?
I know when I first started playing this hobby, I played orcs, and I went out and I bought me a battle force. And I never used the trucks. I hated the bikers, and I'm just like, I don't need these. I just need more boys. So what do?
Get into war.
I get smucked into buying another battle force. So then I had 2 trucks, more bikers I didn't need, and I'm just like, this is dumb. So.
All right, let's move on to question number 3. And we kind of have already touched on this with some of you guys' answers. We've already talked about whether or not especially the new configurations with IG and Tyranid, whether or not they're more powerful or less powerful. We've talked about whether or not a player can be effective with it. Is it still a financial deal? Are people still getting a deal buying battle forces? And for this, we're going back to Solid Smurf.
No, they're not. This is going to be like a 1 or a 2 on the scale. Usually it only saves you about $5 if I've added it up, right? And you're not always getting those back, point-wise. Like, look at the Nid box. Look at the Orc box. Those Horde armies, you're going to have to buy a lot more models to do that. And if what I'm hearing is right, with Beastmen over on the fantasy side, it's going to be like $115 for the battle box, and it's going to be one of the least cost-effective because of the amount of points you're getting in it. So in the end, you may not be making your money back on it,
All right, Bootleg, how about you, man?
Yeah, I agree. I only ever used them as a starting point. When I was decided to start another army, I went and got a battle box, bought a codex, went home and put those together, and then figured out where I was going from there. So, I mean, yeah, it's for the first time purchase, maybe, but after that, you're going to have to spend money. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to say that it really depends on who you are. I think if you're a player out of a 10-point scale on whether or not it's a financial deal, you're probably getting about a 3 unless your starting point budget for this game is $100 or less. But if you're a painter, it might be considered a good deal, so you can test out a bunch of paint schemes for relatively on the cheap. And outside of that, I can't think of who. It's like people who want to jump in this game and don't want to drop $500 to get to 500 points, and painters. Any further discussion here? So, okay, guys, normally we reserve this for question number 6, but again, these are mini episodes of RTD for the live roundtable discussion, so we can start getting into some of those questions that you might have, okay? So, question number 4 is make a prediction, no matter how outlandish, about the Battle Force boxes, as they're either coming out in the near future or what we'll see in the distant future. Bootleg, it's all you.
Oh, God, you would start with me first. I predict they're going to go up and up and up and up and up.
All right.
I mean,
I think Bootleg is going for most likely to happen on his prediction. Smurf, what about you?
Okay, I have a relevant prediction and an irrelevant prediction. My irrelevant prediction is that they're going to create little army boxes that has 1 HQ and 2 troops in it for like maybe $75. You know, my irrelevant prediction is that we're going to basically see it growing and growing and growing until we're going to have Assault on Blackreach size boxes, which is just an army in a box, and it's going to be like $1,000. So,
all right,
be nice.
My prediction is actually pretty much the opposite of Smurf's. I think the Battle Force boxes are going to continue to decrease in its potency as potentially next generation of Tyranid Battle Box. There aren't even Gene Stealers, something to that effect. But you'll still pay it because they'll keep the price relatively the same as the individual boxes of models continue to rise in price. So, guys, this is the conclusion of the first part of the live roundtable discussion talking about Battle Force boxes. And now we're going to start moving on over the other direction because I got to look this way. To some of the questions that were brought in to us before the show started. And this one comes to us from Terrainaholic. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does making noise during the shooting phase affect dice outcome? It's a two-parter. And should there be a penalty assessed if the person is not so dedicated to the game that they don't make noises? And for that, we're actually going to jump over to Solid Smurf first. Make it happen, my man.
Yes, it does make a difference because when I roll dice, I definitely go pew 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 pew, or I tell my dice to go green machine, or I'll yell at my dice and be like, get in there. So yeah.
Second part: should a person be penalized for not making the noises?
Yeah. Yeah, they should.
Fantastic. Thank you, Smurf. And Bootleg.
You're welcome.
Does it affect the dice? And should a person who doesn't do it be penalized?
Well, on one of the podcasts, I did a whole thing about dice and all the different rituals people have, so yeah, it helps. And yeah, we're playing a game. Let's be kids about it. You gotta make noise or you're being penalized.
Nice. There you go. All right. I'm going to quickly answer this question. Contrary to popular belief, it doesn't actually affect the shooting phase, but it does affect the assault phase with a power fest of whoop-ah!
Yes!
I don't think a penalty should be imposed against those people who don't actually make the noises because they're just getting the loss anyways. And that's the final say that I got for that. All right.